Hey, what's up, TMNT fans? Today we're going to be taking a look at a classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the sports wave of the series. This is KICKIN Raphael. This is actually one of the vintage turtle figures that I was lucky enough to find with the file card that you can cut out from the card back when you get them new. So I'll actually get to show you this in this review. You can pause and read it. If it's if it gets blurry, if YouTube changes the quality of this video when I upload it and you can't read it, just let me know and I'll put all of this in the description of the video for you guys to see. It's got a cool little picture of him kicking the soccer ball right there. And you can see some of the artwork from when it was part of the card back. Really cool to me to have these. Every turtle toy should have one of these. New school, old school, doesn't matter. I love collecting little cutouts like that. For accessories, he has this little net here. Stands up just like that. Just a solid blue piece of plastic like most of the accessories on vintage turtle toys. And he has two different soccer balls. One's kind of traditional looking, only dark green, and another one looks like it's actually a balled up foot soldier, which is really cool. This guy is one of the figures that I recently got, and I actually didn't notice that was a foot soldier all tied up and balled up like that. That's really cool. So anyways, on to the figure himself. His articulation is a little bit lacking, I guess, in the legs because it's part of his gimmick that we'll get into more later on in the review. But other than that, he has his standard head joint. You can kind of see the gimmick firing off by mistake right there. And shoulders will spin around, and actually there's no forearm or wrist rotation, I don't think, either. But he really doesn't need it. He doesn't come with his psi weapons, which I kind of think every turtle toy that's an actual turtle should come with a bow staff, nunchuck, psi, or katana blades, depending on which turtle it was, of course. Even if it's like a costumed version, I think it would be cool if they still came with their weapons that we're used to seeing them have in the show. But he doesn't. That's okay. This is an alternate extra version, of course, after you get the basic version. We'll bring him into comparison to his regular standard self. A little bit taller, and the expression on the face is very similar, but it is actually a different sculpt, as you can see. Very angry look on his face. He has a little 2 right there. And on the back it says Raphael. He's got this little button that fires the gimmick. Paint job is pretty nice on this figure. Honestly, if this guy was reissued today, like they're reissuing a lot of vintage turtle toys, they reissued the football Leonardo figure from this line, reissued it. It's at Toys R Us now, and they skip out on paint apps a lot with those reissue lines, which is really disappointing. I think that toys should go forward and they should get more advanced. You know, for a while in the early 2000s, everything was getting better. Articulation was great, and the paint job was perfect. Now the articulation on modern day figures is still great, but paint apps early 2000s and especially vintage figures have the better paint apps in kids lines. In collectors lines, you're going to pay like $20 to $100 per figure. The paint job is usually better, but for a child's toy like this is pretty much a perfect paint job. I don't see anything unpainted. There's no paint smudges or smears where there is paint apps. They added mud on his socks and boots right there, or shoes, excuse me. And that was a really nice touch. If this guy was reissued today, I bet my bottom dollar those mud stains right there wouldn't be painted, or something even worse, like the wristbands wouldn't be painted. But on the vintage ones, as you can see, all perfect. On the bottom of his feet, he's got that shell print there, which is a nice little touch. And right there, he says 1991. No way you can see that, but it says 1991 Mirage Studios Playmates Toys on his back. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into his gimmick. It's going to be kind of impossible to show you the full gimmick on this table, so I'll have to put my camera down on the carpet, and he's probably not going to stand very well on the carpet. On a hard surface, he tends to fall over a lot. Same can be said to any of the original basic turtle figures, but particularly this version has a hard time standing because both of his feet are at an arch rather than having one foot at an arch and the other being completely flat. So anyways, let's take a look at this guy in action. Just gonna throw my camera down right there. Set up his little hoop. I'm probably not gonna make it. And yeah, that's right, I don't know the technical term for this. I'm not into sports at all, unless of course it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sports theme. So you just push his leg back, and ideally you would just squeeze this button and it would fire. And what do you know, it's actually working pretty good. When I first got him, it didn't work very well. Maybe it's just because it wasn't broken at the time. This is basically a new condition without actually being mint. So I was lucky enough to find him in great shape. So let's fire this guy off, see how he can kick his soccer ball. Get into the frame of the camera. And that is a pretty good distance, even though I missed the goal right there. Have him kick it to the camera. Pretty cool stuff. Really neat. So yeah, there's Shell Kickin' Raphael. For a soccer fan and a Ninja Turtle fan, this is an absolute must. And even if you're not particularly into sports, but you like Ninja Turtles, this guy is really fun to play with. And as you can see, like I said, it kicks the ball pretty darn far. So yeah, there's my take on this guy. I'd have to give him a 10 out of 10. He's really cool. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews.